I do think it's important to put a number on this just to give people a clear sense. Like to do this, how much money did you guys have to spend all in on this last phase 3 trial?
I mean, it kind of depends where you start counting, right? Because we
Like
wanted
order of magnitude.
order of magnitude. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely on the order of like 15 million. So, and that's not even counting all of your infrastructure costs that you have to develop, because we have to, because we're working on preparing for a new drug application, we have to implement and test, validate all the systems that we used in order to support the studies. And we have to audit the vendors to make sure that they're doing what they say they're doing. And so
this is tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, then you're probably looking at, when you look at total costs, it's more on the order of 30 million.
And then we didn't really talk about this yet, but where are you guys getting your funding from? And can you talk a little bit about why MAPS has structured itself the way that it has?
Yeah. So we have not received any grants from the government. And the majority of the funding, it's all philanthropic contributions. And the majority of the funding is from private donors. Some are from family foundations. And there was also an influence of cryptocurrencies when we were really trying to do our big push for raising the money in order to do the phase 3 trial, because we didn't want to start the trial without knowing that we had the funding in hand in order to complete it. And so we had to do a big fundraising drive, and we're very luckily the recipients of some cryptocurrency donations that we were able to use.
Yeah. Can you, I contributed a little bit of Bitcoin when you guys were doing this. Can you talk a little bit more about that? How many people did you have giving you cryptocurrency, and how substantive was it in the end? And what are your thoughts on that, looking back on how it turned out for you?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the development and fundraising part is not really in my domain, but I can tell you that there was this pineapple fund that got announced on Reddit. That was a really big influence. We have a pretty strong social media team that was run by Bryce Montgomery. And so he's been with MAPS for 10 years at this point, and I've been there for 12 years. So we've had a lot of overlap. Anyway, he found the Pineapple Fund posting on Reddit that somebody was going to donate, an anonymous donor was going to donate millions of Bitcoin through this Pineapple Fund, and was very secretive about their identity.
Millions of Bitcoins.
Like, I don't know, it was a lot of money, but it equated to millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. Yeah. And then how did you guys think about that, given the volatility of Bitcoin? Did you sort of hold on to it for a while?
We did not hold on to it because of the volatility. So we just quickly converted it into dollars and used it. So in hindsight, if we had been able to hold on to it, it's possible that it would have amounted to even more.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So that was actually, I knew that you guys were doing this because I participated in my own little way, but I never actually got the story on how consequential it was. But
it was very consequential. Yeah. It enabled us to be able to finish contracts with universities that were going to do the work. It was important.